As someone who's obviously such a role model and a figure in the community, how important do you think it is to share those messages, especially when you're talking about an incident that happened on a football field in a place where people feel like it's supposed to be safe and fun for children?
Yeah, it's just heartbreaking to see something, really caught my attention. When the younger generation turns to that, really at a loss for words. Ultimately, like for the cycle in the end, I feel like there's just a lot of, poverty, a lot of people lost in the cycle, and people turn to that. I don't know, I guess to be heard, but that's terrible.
To kind of go ahead, Don.
No, I always think about athletes. For you guys, you always talk about how being on the field of play is a safe haven. So does it strike you in some kind of way that these guys were playing football?
Yeah, it's terrible. Breaks your heart. Especially young kids like that got their whole lives in front of them, and such just foolish stuff. I feel like it's what the world's turned to now, because I don't know. Just people. I don't know. Wish people could solve out their problems and communicate better.
Turning the page now to maybe something a little bit lighter. Obviously, another familiar face coming in yet again this weekend. When it comes to Doug Peterson and seeing him on the opposing team's sideline, what do you think is going to go through your mind, seeing the old coach that led you guys, to the mountaintop?
Yeah, I'm going to say hi to him after the game. I owe a lot to Doug. I feel like he helped resurrect my career. I expect him to probably get a standing ovation just for what he did here and how he treated players. So people don't forget that. And then ultimately, I'm just going to be worried about their defense. They have a really good defensive line, one of the better ones we've seen, good linebacking core. But, it'll be weird seeing him on the sideline over there.
Jonathan Gannon talked earlier this week about how game planning for Doug is difficult because he doesn't really have tendencies that you can try to predict. Yeah. As someone who obviously, played under him and his play calling, do you talk to the defensive unit about you can't really predict what he's going to do, but here's sort of what to expect?
Yeah, he can communicate with some of the coaches. Stout's been here a long time, and so, Stout was a big part of the run game offense and obviously the pass game. So, we always have that, but at the end of the day, they're going to throw the ball or run it. So, for me, I see their two ends, and what they have on defense is one of the better in the league. So that's what I'm getting ready for, and then, see what happens.
What makes you say that Doug helped resurrect your career?
I thought like he was a great communicator. I feel like, him coming in and then adding Brandon from Houston, I feel like putting him together with me helped, boost both of our careers. When we were together, we were dominant. So, just how he handled, he was a player's coach. He was great communicating and just how he handled himself.
Doug said today he was asked about coming back to Philly and the statue out front and the whole thing, and he said he's never seen it in person and he doesn't plan to anytime soon. Does that surprise you at all when it comes to what you know about Doug Peterson?
Yeah, as a head coach, you have so much stuff going on. He's probably just worried about that. I'm sure he's seen pictures of it after. But, yeah, it's probably a weird feeling seeing a statue of yourself outside of an opposing team's stadium. So that'll be a new feeling for him. But, yeah.
Nick told us about a Tiger Woods clip. What did you guys learn from that? Something that he showed you?
Just his intensity. That and just, he was at the top of his game and just how he just continued to work. And, I think the clip was he was heading back from a tournament or something and stopped on the side of the road and started working on his swing or something, pulled his car over. The ultimate message was just don't get complacent. The best are always trying to improve and get better, and that's really what it's about.